Hello everyone, my name is Maz Asnan Khan and this is my final demo video for CS625 data visualization. I am sharing with you today an exploration into the intersection of COVID-19 pandemic and influenza patterns worldwide. Let's start by looking at the title, which is From Lockdown to Outbreak, a tale of post-COVID freedom and rising influenza cases. This video explains the relationship between easing of COVID-19 restrictions and the subsequent surge in influenza cases, which bring me to our central question. Has the relaxation of COVID-19 restrictions influenced the resurgence of influenza? And what patterns emerge when examining influenza cases both during and in the aftermath of pandemic related lockdowns? First of all, let's take a quick look at the chart. To create this chart, we've compiled influenza cases in both northern and southern hemispheres, spanning from 2015 to 2022. The x axis represents the month, the y axis represents the number of influenza cases. The black dotted line provides a baseline reflecting the average influenza cases during the 2015 to 2019 period, that is the pre-COVID era, while the other colored line represents the influenza cases during the years 2020 to 2022. The shaded areas in both hemispheres show the peak flu seasons, adding a visual cue to the typical timing of influenza surges. The annotations on the chart highlight key events, emphasizing critical moments such as lifting of COVID-19 restrictions in various regions and the abnormal trend of influenza cases. These events serve as anchors in our exploration. In the Northern Hemisphere, the black dotted line represents the average influenza cases from 2015 to 2019. This line serves as a reference illustrating the typical pattern of flu cases during the pre-COVID era, with peaks during the flu seasons. If we look at this line, we can see that influenza cases all over the northern hemisphere followed a certain trend. That is, they peaked during the flu season, which is highlighted in yellow. Notably, we observed a significant decrease in flu cases in March 2020 as COVID-19 emerged. This might be caused due to the COVID-19 lockdowns, which made the people go into their homes and they were not really socializing. So, subsequently, when England and several other European countries lifted lockdown in January 2022, the influenza cases surged, deviating from pre-COVID pattern. After this, when in September 2022, the Asian countries started lifting lockdown, the influenza cases peaked to an all-time high. Shifting our focus from northern to southern hemisphere, the black dotted line similarly represents the average influenza cases from 2015 to 2019, highlighting typical pre-COVID flu season pattern. Again, if we look at this line, we can see that the influenza cases all over southern hemisphere follow a certain trend, that is, they peaked during the peak flu season. In January 2022, as Australia, New Zealand, and other South American countries lifted COVID restrictions, after which many of the countries lying in southern hemisphere start lifting COVID restrictions, we observed a distinct rise in influenza cases, deviating from pre-COVID pattern. However, post-COVID, an abnormal trend emerged in southern hemisphere with cases rising even during the off-peak season, as we can see here. Now coming back to our central question. Has the relaxation of COVID-19 restrictions influenced the resurgence of influenza? The data strongly suggest a connection. In both hemispheres, the easing of COVID measures corresponds with a noticeable uptick in influenza cases. An additional layer to our analysis considers the potential impact of weakened immune systems during the lockdowns. As restrictions lifted, individuals may have been left more susceptible to the influenza virus, contributing to the observed trend. In conclusion, From Lockdown to Outbreak sheds light on the intricate relationship between COVID-19 and influenza. Our journey from pandemic lockdowns to the resurgence of influenza cases highlights the complexity of these interconnected global health challenges. Thank you for your attention today. This concludes my final demo video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.